Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another type of join, which is left outer join. To understand the left outer join, first of all, I will show you some data in a table. Then we will understand the queries, like how we have used the queries to create those data, and what is the exact requirement, or you can say where we can utilize the left outer join. Join. Okay, left outer join. So let me show you the data first and then we'll discuss the process. So first of all, we will look at these two tables. If you remember in our previous session also we used one real life example for the cricket match. Same thing we will use in this scenario also. But this time we will use it for the left outer join. Okay. So here you can see the first table. Here I have created first table with name players where we have two column player ID and player name. Similarly, we have created another table with a name ODI record, and here we have three columns: player ID, best ODI score or ODI centuries. After creating these two tables using these queries, I have stored some random data here, some sample data. So let me show you that data first. So I'm running one query: select star from Sharmit1, which is my library name, slash players, which is my table name. So you can see here we have some data. In previous session we stored data till here, till player ID 10 and such in. But this time we have included another two record. Why? Just to explain the thing out left out join. Okay. So this is the one data. Now let me just notice the player ID, which is 8 and 77. Now if I show you the another table, which is ODI record, there you will find there is no record for 8 and 77. It means there are two players in the table 1 whose record is not present in the second table. Okay. Now assume a scenario: you are working as a broadcaster and there is a live cricket match, and you are supposed to show the data for all the players. But if there is no record in if there is no available data in ODI record table for any player, in that case you can show null values. Okay, you can indicate that there is null, but you should show the player name, because player name is important. During live match you can show that these are the two player whose record is not available, so you can just show the null, but name should be there. So how to achieve this? So to achieve this, we will use the left outer join. So what left outer join will do, it will pick the data from first table, all the data from the first table, or you can say left table, the table which we kept before, just after the from, or you can say before left outer join keyword, is the left table or first table. So it will pick the data, all data from the first table. Now from second table, if it finds the equivalent record in the second table, it will show it, otherwise it will show the null. Okay, I hope it is clear. We have two table data. Let me explain it again. We have two table in which first table I have stored player name and player ID. Now there could be possible that there are some player whose record is not available in second table, or you can say ODI record table. If there is no record, in that case we will show the null, but name should be populated, means player name should be populated there. So this is the requirement. Now to achieve this, we will use left outer join, because left outer join, what it will do, it will pick all the data from first table, and this was our first requirement, right? We want to show all the records from the first table, means name and ID. Now from second table, if record found, then we will print that record, otherwise we will keep it as null. So let's see the query. Here I am writing select p1 dot player id, p1 dot player name, o1 dot player id, o1 dot best ODI score, o1 dot ODI centuries from players table as p1. So all the fields which is prefixed with p1 dot are coming from players table. Then I'm using the keyword left outer join on second table, which is ODI record O1. So all the fields which is prefixed by O1 dot is coming from ODI record table. And then as usual we need one common column to perform the join. So here I'm writing on P1 dot player ID equal O1 dot player ID. So if I hit enter, what it will do, it will print all the record. You can see all player name and IDs included. But if you press shift F8, you can see if record is not there in the second table, it will keep it as null. Okay. So by this query, we can easily show this data to a live audience during the live cricket match. Okay. So I hope this real life example is clear to all of you, and it helps you to understand the concept of left outer join. Now we will discuss how we can utilize the same thing inside sqlrpgle program. So here what we are doing, and there is a bit change as compared to other sessions. So let's see what is the difference. So here what we are doing, we are firstly declaring one SQL state underscore valid, which is constant with 5 times 0. And this constant we will use to verify the query whether it is executed properly or not. Then we have declared one TS with 4 subfields: player ID, name, best score and centuries. So this TS we will use as a host variable in order to fetch in order to retrieve the data from query. Afterwards we are setting the option commit to star none, and then we are declaring the cursor. So to declare the cursor I am writing exec SQL, and here we just need to write declare. This is my cursor name, get ODI records, which is of scrollable cursor type for, and this is a query. So in this query I just remove the O1 dot player ID because there is no need to print player ID again and again. So let me show you this query quickly. Yep, so it will print player ID only one time because both player ID common, right, in both the tables, so you can print only one, and other fields are included, like other all fields are included. So this is the cursor. After declaring the cursor we are turning on it, so just make open get ODI records, and after that we are fetching the records. So till do while is equal to SQL state underscore valid, we are running this statement fetch next from get ODI records into ODI TS. So one by one it will fetch for all records. Now there is one new thing that we are checking here, which is SQL state 22002. Means this this is the SQL status which we will get once query ended in an error due to null values. So what we are doing here, we are trying to fetch the data, but there are two records we saw, right? We saw that there are two records whose data is not available and it keep it as null. So whenever this record is read by this fetch statement, it result into failure. Why? Because we are trying to store the null value into the zone decimal variable. So that's why it will result into error. Okay. So just to show this thing inside program, what I am doing, I'm checking for SQL state. If SQL state is 22002, then I'm just populating one message null value encountered, and then setting the SQL state equals to SQL state underscore valid again, so that it will process the next record. But it is up to you, as per your requirement. You can change the query here also, like if you want to print only the name and you can say ID, then you can customize your logic accordingly. But for just for the time being, I'm just showing this message null value encountered, because overall process is to understand the left outer join, so which is clear to all of us. So you can make it as per your requirement, but just for now I just keep this message null value encountered and setting the SQL state underscore valid. Else if SQL state is other than SQL state underscore valid, means if this is not the condition and other error occur, then it will simply leave the loop. Otherwise it will consider that SQL query is executed properly and it prints the data w underscore name, w underscore player ID, w underscore best score, w underscore centuries, and do end if and do, and then we are closing the cursor get ODI records and setting the star INR to star on. So let's quickly compile this program and call it. So you can see this is the record for first player, this is the record for second player, similarly for third player, fourth player, and fifth player. After fifth player, it prints one message, null value encountered. It means the last two record has been started, and this is the second record. Okay, so yeah, as per your requirement, you can customize your program. You can print only the name or anything which you want to print, but for now I just print this message like a null value encountered. But I hope this process is clear to all of you, like how we can utilize left outer join with some real life example related to cricket. So in the next session we will discuss another examples. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.